Hi guys, I'm in between meetings and I had something that was on my mind a lot lately that it's something that helps me to put in perspective that I thought I'd share with all of you, and maybe it'll help you too, maybe not, we'll see. So it's about time, and I hear people all the time say life is short and we've got to take advantage of it. And I totally get that sometimes that motivates us to spring into action that we otherwise might not do. And if it motivates you, awesome. For me, it helps to use the perspective that life is long. That just puts me more at ease and makes me feel expansive. It makes me live in the moment more. So the couple of points I want to make are just that we have this view of time as a concrete thing, but we know time is relative. So for example, a week might feel like a really short time for us, but for a bug, that might feel like a lifetime, right? So we all know that it's relative. Even in terms of our health in our body, if nobody ever gave you a calendar or told you how old you were, you could only go by how you feel. And our age is not necessarily a determinant of how long we're going to live. We all know that through sometimes unfortunate life experiences, right? So time is relative in that way. And I believe time is kind of an illusion. The second point is that time is also dependent on perspective. And we know that because if anybody remembers sitting in class in elementary school or middle school, class to me, that dragged, right? Having to sit there for 8 hours. I like learning, but we all know time drags when we're not having fun, and time just flies by when we're having an amazing time and we're in the moment or we're doing something that brings us joy, makes us happy. So time is dependent on perspective. So it's relative and it's dependent on perspective. The other point about time is that we can also make huge jumps in our own growth, in our soul journey. Certain things we read or something we might hear might take us from a certain perspective to this advancement that's way forward. So, I like the way A Course in Miracles puts it, where they talk about miracles in terms of any miracle is just a shift in perspective from fear to love. So anytime we can get rid of those doubts and that fear-based energy, that's a miracle. It's just a shift in perspective. What it also talks about is how those shifts in perspective and those miracles can condense time. And I absolutely agree. To make it in a more practical term, think of how we can make huge jumps in our business and our relationships and our personal growth, sometimes overnight, just by changing the way we look at things or maybe changing one or two little things that we're doing. So in that way, we can shift time in a lot of ways, and we can condense time in a lot of ways, because if we're only here to grow and learn and share and care about people, then we can squeeze a lot of that into a shorter amount of time, which in my mind kind of makes the time changeable in a way. So we might not be able to add more years to our life, but we can sure add more life to our years, and that in my book makes life longer. So the fact that time is kind of relative, the fact that it depends on our perspective, and the fact that we can kind of change it, in my mind, means just kind of reinforces the point that time is an illusion. So what I would suggest is, instead of always looking at life is short, to me, it's great to take in the perspective that we need to take advantage of every moment. I think that's a great thing. But that whole phrase of life is short sometimes gives an anxiety or a sense of urgency that I don't think is always helpful. So I remember one time I was packing for a trip and I was just so stressed, feeling like I had to get everything done. And my friend Nikki said to me, just remember, time expands. And that changed everything. My stress immediately decreased. I got everything I needed to do before the trip without the anxiety overlaying all of that. So think of when you say life is long and time expands. How does that feel to you? For me, that makes me feel more relaxed, more in the moment, more present, like I can take in more of what life is offering. And that's how we want to live our lives, I think. So for me, being able to bring that presence to every moment, regardless of your views on time and whether you think life is long or life is short, I think we can all agree that our best moments are lived when we're present. When we're present with who we're with, when we're present with what we're doing, when we're mindful, when we're soaking in all the beauty around us, even when it doesn't feel like there's beauty around us, there always is something beautiful that you can find in the moment. So bringing presence to our lives, I think, just increases the quality of our life by so much. So again, just to say, I think time is relative, because it's all kind of this made up thing that we made up, right? So time is relative, and it depends on your perspective so much. It depends if you're enjoying life or if life is dragging because maybe things aren't going so well. So we can always change our perspective, and then we can change time just by what we're doing with it. We can certainly condense years of learning into short jumps by switching our perspective. So I would suggest, if the phrase life is short to you ever makes you feel anxious, or like there's this urgency, or like you need to do more, or like there's this stress and strain on you, just switch it to life is long and enjoy. That's what we're all here for. So hi Joel, hi Gil, nice to see you guys. So I hope that helps. That's something that has been a phrase on my mind lately that I've been keeping in mind. And so I hope it helps you bring you more into the present moment and enjoy life more, because that's what we're here for. So I hope that helps, and I'll talk to you guys soon.